How much do you know about drugs and drug abuse? In this video, we will discuss a few problem statements related to drugs and drug abuse and how we can better manage these issues. What you read from the internet may not always be the truth. Always verify the source of information when accessing online information on the effects of drugs. Cannabis is addictive. Research has shown that amongst those who used cannabis, about 1 in 10 will develop dependence. Smoking cannabis does not have medical value. Most medical bodies do not support smoking cannabis for medical application. Evidence for use of medical cannabis is inconclusive, and the US FDA has not approved the use of cannabis plant as medicine. Cannabis is harmless. This is false because findings have shown that cannabis use has been linked to anatomical and functional changes in the brain. It has also been linked to the development of serious mental illnesses such as schizophrenia. This is based on a literature review on cannabis conducted by a team of psychiatrists and researchers from the Institute of Mental Health, Singapore. CNB is seeing more cases of youths abusing drugs and introducing them to peers. What should you do when offered drugs from friends? Here are some ways you can effectively respond to peer pressure when it comes to drug influences. 1. Be bold and simply say no. 2. Suggest an alternative activity. Joining sports or other healthy group activities not only widens your social circle but also boosts your self-esteem. 3. Avoid the situations where you know people will be abusing drugs or sniffing glue. Choose your friends wisely and hang out with non-abusers. How can you tell if someone is abusing drugs? Here are some telltale signs of possible drug abuse. Seek help from an adult such as your teacher or school counselor if you know or suspect of anyone abusing drugs. Some countries have legalized or decriminalized the use of certain drugs such as cannabis. Will you be enticed to try drugs while overseas? While other countries may legalize the use of certain drugs such as cannabis, be informed that you're not barred from any penalties if you consume these drugs overseas. All Singaporeans or permanent residents found to have consumed illegal substances, even outside of Singapore, will face the same penalties as if the offence has been committed in Singapore. Drug abuse, be it abroad or at home, is not worth your time and health. You may have come across websites promoting sales of legal highs and new psychoactive substances. These products mimic the effects of illicit drugs such as cannabis, but are marketed as safe and legal. Would you believe that these substances are indeed safe for consumption and be tempted to try? Many of these NPS have been reported in overseas journals to have no licit medical use. Their abuse has also been linked to adverse physical and psychological reactions, including paranoia, seizures, hallucinations, and even death. As of 1st May 2016, over 100 NPS have been listed as Class A controlled drugs. Singapore adopts a zero-tolerance stance against drugs and have put in place a comprehensive approach to tackling drugs that reduces both drug demand and supply. Why do you think it's important that we continue to maintain a zero-tolerance stance against drugs? Our tough drug laws and effective enforcement keep Singapore streets largely free from drugs and crime and deter organised drug syndicates from operating in Singapore. Preventive drug education is the first line of defense in our overall drug control approach. The primary outcome is to prevent as many youths from drug abuse by reaching out to them with a range of PDE programs to raise their awareness on the harms of drug abuse, as well as to build their resilience against drugs. Now that we have come to the end of this video, we hope that you're able to make the right choices in your life. You can always contact CNB's hotline at 1-800-325-6666 if you encounter any drug-related situations. Protect yourself and loved ones around you. Together, we can keep Singapore drug-free, where everyone can live, work and play safely.